Did you ever call Brian and say, I did it. I took your advice?
Mm-mm. I didn't. Isn't that terrible?
No.
Ryan and I really drifted apart. I learned so much from him on stage, and I also learned from him off stage, like that example. But he could be so difficult to live with that we didn't really get along. So we had some famous fights on stage, actually, during the performance.
Like almost these subtle moments that only you and he knew about?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like what?
Like the opening at the Kennedy Center, which is a state event because it's part of it's a national monument, the Kennedy Center. So people are there in like black tie and stuff.
Right.
And Brian could be such a prick on stage. He was such a diva. And Death Trap is about these two writers who were sort of dueling with each other, and there's many, many layers to the play. I don't want to get into it now. It's hard to describe. But there are points where one writer finds what the other writer has been writing and reads it aloud. So you're basically reading a lot of exposition that the audience has already seen because it's like a play within a play within a play. So it's very difficult to keep the audience's interest because they've already seen all this stuff. And I had the first one of these speeches. And during it, Brian became just riveted by something on the rug. And he started going down on his all fours on the rug, trying to find something. And the audience knew exactly what he was doing, and they started laughing. He was just stealing focus. And he was just being ruthless about it and totally ignoring me. And I got louder and louder, and it was driving me crazy. And then I calmed down, and then his turn came in the next scene to do the same thing, to have to read an expository.
Don't tell me you got on the floor.
He had learned. No. I turned around, and there was a bookcase behind me. And I started looking for books in the bookcase, and I was taking them out and looking at them. I just couldn't look, and I couldn't find what I wanted. And he was getting louder and louder and more strident, trying to get my attention. And I was ignoring him, and the audience knew exactly what I was doing. And they were howling that I was giving him back exactly what he'd given me. And just at that moment, I was turning back to him, and he was getting ready to swat me in the head with the script. We found a script that each of us is working on. So just as I'm turning, this script comes and bashes me in the face, and the rivet from the script grazes my eye. And I thought he had really hurt me, and I went crazy. And we're on either side of this big lawyer's partner desk, and I lunged for him. And he threw down the script, and he lunged for me. And we heard Murray Gitlin, the stage manager from the wings, say, gentlemen, please, this is the theater.
On stage. Packed performance.
We're like,
oh my God.
We had to sit back in our chairs. And we were doing all of this through the lines of the play. We never stopped saying the lines of the play. So the whole thing, we're doing this play, and we're like, I want to kill you. And that was the subtext was, I want to kill you. And then we both sit down, and we got through the scene, and the playwright, Ira Levin, who also wrote Rosemary's Baby, and a big playwright, had come down from New York with his family for the Kennedy Center opening, and he was in the audience.
And he loved it. No.
I thought, I am so fired. I am never going to work in the theater again. This is my first big job after Juilliard. This is my first big break. I'm out. They're going to blackball me. He comes to my dressing room and he says, you were brilliant. It was incredible. It was like watching Hamlet. Where did you find all that in my play?
So you guys, they thought it was part of it?
Yeah, we kept saying the lines. We were just playing it, this hostile anger, fury at each other, but we'd never broken out of character.
And what did he say anything afterwards like, I'm sorry?
No, Brian didn't know how to say I'm sorry.
I think if you probably, if you notice any similarities in someone that your father might have had, or drinking or things, are there certain things, triggers that you're like, can't be around that person. That's something that's too much for me. I can't deal with that.
Selfishness to the point of narcissism, I find impossible to be around.